Mr. Edwin, I'm John Baptiste Karegeya from Bwiza.com, Rwanda.
Thank you.
The cameraman is also Melchior Kairanga from Bwiza. So welcome in Rwanda.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Mr. Edwin, I've gone through research and some documents. I've met some about your background,
Okay.
as in transparency and accountability,
Yes.
anti-poverty campaign, one campaign, public finance management, health, agriculture, food and trade. All of that, they are good things for Africa.
Okay.
Can you add more about your personality?
Okay, so I would just say that I'm a pan-Africanist, so I'd like Africa to be one. That is the key part of my being. And then I'd also like to see that Africa, the African story, is not a story of poverty, not a story of disease and death, but a story of, of people that are enterprising, that are very that have strength. Yeah. I'd like to tell the African story as a story of people who love culture, who love music, who love to play, who love to work, who have strength. And that's for me the kind of African story I'd like to tell, other than the common story of Africa, of the place of poor people, place of disease, place of poverty, so that's another part of me. Okay, so I think the first thing is the political will. There's this issue of sovereignty, and you can understand that African countries are led by people who have given so much to either fight for the struggle, fight for independence, fight for sovereignty, right? Now that they have it, trying to give that part up so that we can become a bigger whole is a difficult thing. And that is why you see many African leaders are still skeptical. They're not very sure. Is this going to be good for me? Is this not going to be good for me? How do we have a single Africa without borders? It is still a concept that they are grappling with. Of overlooking the economic benefit of that, overlooking the political benefit of that. Imagine that the whole Africa is one big country, assuming, and then we have a whole population. So whatever we put our investment in, if we are producing anything, you have 1.2 billion people as a market. That is a consideration that has not really permeated the mindset of African leaders to the point where they are willing to give a bit of their sovereignty to create a pan-African, a continent that is one. And so I would say that is the political will and the political choice to make Africa one is still very weak. And that is why you see we respect people like Paul Kagame for what he has done with Rwanda, and they making it travel free, that this is home to every African. Those are the kind of things we want to see. Kenya has done it as well. Then the regional blocs are doing it within the region, like West Africa is travel free, South Africa is travel free, is visa free. Those are the kind of things we'd like to see happen, so that on the Pan-African level, at the continental level, people can know, we can feel that we actually want Africa. Apart from the language we speak and the artificial boundaries that was created by the colonial masters, right? What really makes you different from me? If we are standing side by side, nobody will know I'm Nigerian or you are Rwandan unless we start to speak or say other things. So these are legacies we need to think about how to grow out of, so that we can harness the economic potential of being one Africa.
While talking about Pan-Africanism also, you've mentioned that AU has adopted one African market, yes. But next is ratification by country, each country. What do you think about this process? Is there any challenge?
Yes, so I think the Continental Free Trade Agreement is a key part of the fight to have a united and one common common African market. One of the things you should understand in this case is that if this works, it will be one of the biggest markets in the world. It's one of the most ambitious, free trade area in the world if this happens. And that is why we're really looking forward to it taking off. But you see the biggest economies like Nigeria and South Africa have not really signed on to. They say they want to do more consultations. It is okay, because at the end of the day, it is not just about coming together to trade. It's also about the people. We've talked about an Africa of people rather than an Africa of states. So for that to happen, there needs to be wide consultation. We as Africans need to understand the benefits of being in a bigger regional market rather than to be in a in a small fragmented place. And so that is why it is not a crime to say South Africa and Nigeria, the biggest economies in Africa, say they want to consult with their people, because it is actually the people that will make it work. You understand? So that is why it's not a problem yet. But we are hoping that it will go faster. We are hoping that it will actually, people will see beyond the artificial boundaries to think about the benefit that we can get, from having one regional market. And we're really looking forward to, steps taken to actualize that. So by the time it's a regional market, there is no tariff regime across the continent is taken out, then we can talk about complete visa free. Then we can talk about one African passport. That for me will be that is the dream. That is what we're all looking forward to.
And you hope to raise the...
Okay, so a key figure right now, again, not because I'm in Rwanda, is Paul Kagame, right? That have worked so hard to make this a reality. And he's not just talking about it, he's walking the talk by providing a home for Africans in Rwanda. That is number one. But there are other people as well that are in their minds, they want to do this. So there are a lot of Pan-Africanists. Unfortunately, many of them are not in leadership positions.
Yes.
You understand? Yeah. So we need to see and think about how to make the Pan-Africanists come into leadership position, to the position of taking decisions, at the continental level. Yeah. That is what we would like to see, because that was what is going to drive. It will give us. It will give the political capital to move the things forward. So I would really hope that more figures come out, more personalities that are really galvanizing that movement to really come out. But publicly, there are not so many right now, and that is